Very good morning, dear children. Dear children, in this module, we are just going to start the chapter. So, children, the chapter is the story of village Palampur. So, we talked about Palampur in the previous chapter also, that it's a hypothetical village, means it does not exist in reality, it's just an imagination. And we discussed that the main activity of this village is farming because it's a village. So, obviously, the main activity of the people will be farming. Apart from that, the people are doing several other occupations also, but they are on a limited scale. The main activity is farming. Now children, this Palampur village is very well connected with the neighboring villages and towns, means it has a very good road connections with other villages. Fine, with the nearest village, which is Raniganj, and the nearest town, which is Shapur. So it is very well connected with that. Now children, many sorts of transport can be seen on the roads. Fine, like you can see bullock carts, tongas, bogies, and so many things loaded with jaggery. What is jaggery? It's a good. Fine, and several other commodities. You can see motorcycles, jeeps, tractors, trucks. So what you can imagine about running about Palampur is that it's a very advanced village, you can say. Means it this village is having all the basic amenities, all the basic things which are required. Fine. Now this village is having 450 families. The 450 families, they all belong to different castes. Fine. So 80 upper caste families are there. And children, those upper caste families, they are, they own the majority of the land in the village. Fine, you know about it, that in a village there are some people, those who are having land, and there are some people, those who are landless. There are landless laborers also. Some are medium farmers, some are small farmers, and some are large farmers also. So here 80 families, they are contributing, means 80 upper caste families, they have the majority of the land in the village. So obviously if they are having more land, the upper caste families, they are living in houses that are made up of cement, brick, and all. And children, this scheduled caste families, the Dalit families, they are just one third. They comprise one third of the population. They are more, but they live in a different corner of the village, at a separate corner, because they are Dalit. So that's why. And children, they are living in small houses, just made up of mud, straw, and all. Fine. And here in the village, most of the houses, they have a electric connection also. Electricity is there, and tube wells are there in the fields. Very well irrigated villages this. Fine, they are not dependent on rains and all. Obviously farmer has to depend, but they have their own electricity, tube wells, and all. Fine. Then they are having this electricity is not only used in irrigation, it is used in several other small businesses which are required. Now Palampur is having two primary schools also, one high school also. It has a primary health center which is run by the government. You have read it in class 7th also. And it has a private dispensary also. Fine. So public, private, both are there. Private, which is someone who's owning it privately, and public is which is owned by the government. Fine. Then the description above. Now what the description shows, it shows that Palampur is very well developed village. The development of road, transport, electricity, irrigation, schools, health center, everything is there. Means you can imagine that it is a very developed village. Now the story of Palampur. I told you it's an imaginary village. It is just going to take us to the different types of production activities in the village. So as you know that all the villages across India, they are all their main activity is production, farming. Farming is their main occupation, and they are producing what, grains and all. Fine. Now there are some non-farming activities also, like small scale manufacturing, transport, shopkeeping, and many more. Now children, we are just going to see uh, both these types of activities we are going to check out, and we are going to learn some basic things about the production. So children, now just check out, here it is, organization of production. So what is it? The main aim of production is what? It is just to produce the goods and services that we want. If there is no production, just imagine how we are going to get different things. If you are at home, you just take a look around you. So many things they are produced, then only they are there at your home and you need them. Fine. So the aim of production is to provide us with certain goods and services which we require. Fine. So children, there are four requirements for production of goods and services. If we want to produce something, what we require? So children, you will only tell me. If you are going to make a factory, okay, what is the main thing which you require? Like if you want to produce something, you want to be in production, you are making a big factory, what is the first thing which you will require? Yes, obviously, the first requirement is land. Children, we require a land, then only we are going to set up some factory or something like that. Only then the production will be done, na? So the first requirement is land, and not only the land, children, we require several other natural resources also, like water, forest, minerals, and so many things. Fine. So the first thing is land. The second requirement is labor. So children, land you have. Fine. If you want to do farming, you have the land, but what you can do if you don't have the labor? So you need people who are going to work on that land. So we require labor. And children, you all know that labor means the people which are going to work. They can be